Hi, I'm Christina Applegate.
And I'm Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
And this is
Messy.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Messy. It's Christina.
And Jamie. And I'm going to make this short and sweet so we can get right to this combo. We have today with us a world-renowned makeup artist, a beauty industry trailblazer. When I was 13 years old and my mom told me that I could finally buy makeup, the only makeup I was allowed to buy was from this person. And so I've forever been a loyal fan since. She is a pioneering entrepreneur, a New York Times bestselling author, and the founder of one of our sponsors, Jones Road Beauty. Please welcome to Messy, the one and only Bobbi Brown.
Woo! Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. You made me sound great in the intro. A little old since you were 13 when I was already having kids and working, but it's okay.
That's not what I meant to do. I'm sorry. Just wanted
just kidding.
But I think sometimes, we talk about this sometimes. Sometimes we have to hear about ourselves or see ourselves through other people's eyes to really appreciate what we've done and accomplished and who we are. So, that was just a snippet of what you've been able to do in your lifetime so far.
One thing I want to tell you that was funny before we get into everything is that I literally don't buy makeup, and I haven't for 20 years at least. And I just noticed in my makeup drawer, I still have Bobbi Brown lipsticks in there. Okay, I just wanted to tell you that. Do you think they're rotten?
Yes. Well, you should smell them. If they smell a little off, get rid of them.
I'm sure they're not rotten, but literally that's how old they are. And that's not, I'm aging myself up as well. So there you have it. Okay, one thing we like to do to kind of break the ice with our guests, if you've ever listened to this, is we ask everybody, who was little Bobbi? Like, I always ask, can you close your eyes and look down at your shoes? What were your shoes that you were wearing as little Bobbi, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever? What were you listening to? What TV shows were you watching? Because I feel like it gives us a little insight into you.
Mm. Yeah. Well, little Bobbi always loved shoes. And luckily I had a mother that loved shoes and shopping as much as I did. So little Bobbi was probably wearing some kind of, not sneakers, but really uncomfortable, what were those shoes we used to wear? I don't want to call them Mary Jane, so probably some kind of Mary Jane, I'm guessing. And really little Bobbi used to wear dresses. And, little Bobbi of now, who's only 5 foot tall, wears sneakers and jeans. So I was much more fashionable, I think, when I was under my mother's care than by myself.
Do you think that was more her choice than yours?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
My mother was really glamorous. She was 20 when I was born, 21 at the oldest. And she just had this glamour thing. She wanted to be, I don't know if it was Elizabeth Taylor or, Cher, very glamorous. And I didn't have a glamorous bone in my body ever. So, it took me a while to kind of figure out who I was and what I was comfortable in. And I finally, in my 60s, I'm comfortable in everything.
I'm so glad to hear that. Well, what were your interests as little Bobbi? Because you were obviously so heavily influenced by your mom, but were there any that you were brewing under there that, came out at a later point?
Well, definitely makeup. I used to watch my mom do her makeup, and she was gorgeous and stunning and glamorous, on her high platform shoes with her cigarette hanging out of her mouth. She'd put, bronzer on her cheek and the false eyelashes and, draw her brows in. And she was stunning. So I got her old makeup, and she gave me paper and old makeup, and she'd say, go play. Cause I was always very creative. And instead of drawing on the paper, I used to put makeup on myself and on my dolls. So she used to tell this story that she knew I'd be a makeup artist, but
Wow.
I used to just love watching her get glam, and it's just funny that that's the career I went into.
Yeah. Well, speaking of little Bobbi, you've written many books, but your most recent is probably, I would assume, your most personal, which is your memoir, Still Bobbi. You are incredibly vulnerable and honest and candid in all the ways the great memoirs are. And you open up a lot about your relationship with your mother and your mother's struggle with mental health, which there was no conversation around anything like that, right? They would just label women as just black and white, like a nervous breakdown, right? Or they're crazy. But I can imagine that even hearing just in these few sentences of how influential your mother was with you, very, it's probably going through that experience being a big part of who you are and what you are. Can you talk to us about that? Because, Christina and I have both over the past couple of years been writing our memoirs that both come out this year. So we deeply understand the perspective, like a new relationship and perspective you even have of yourself when you go through that process.
Right. Well, first of all, writing the memoir, and I'm sure you guys are experiencing it too, is very cathartic.
Yes.
Just like putting it all down. And honestly, I'm more proud of myself as a person after I've written this book than I was even before. Like when I started kind of, wow, all that happened. I did this and this is how I dealt with it. Not just all the cool things I've done, but how I've dealt with it, whether it's my mother's mental illness, my brother's mental illness, my parents' divorce, my going to college, my, changing colleges and building a career in makeup and, being in the fashion industry. It's again, when you think about all those different times, it's how you act. And, sometimes things are handed to you that you never would have picked, but you just like, so what, now what? You just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, because, Jamie and I just both wrote ours. And I think we both, had different kind of reactions to it. You know what I mean? Like a catharsis, Jamie, a hope and a beauty. And then I kind of went real dark. So I don't know, like for you, kind of revisiting these things of your childhood that, shaped who you are. Like, how did that, when you put down that pen, like, what were you feeling? Because I know how I feel right now. Like, I feel busted from it. But
right,
like,
sure.
Yeah, that's.
For some reason, I was born resilient. So whether it was, writing about and thinking about my mother's attempted suicide, my brother's homelessness, my father falling in love with my mother's best friend, who he ultimately married, who, like all these things happened, but I didn't let it define me. And I was questioning myself, Bobbi, did you just like block that out like it never happened? And then I realized, no, I didn't block it out. I was there. I experienced it. I felt it, but I chose what to do with it. I chose to go forward. I chose to leave Chicago. I chose to move to New York City. I chose all these things. And, I still very close to my family. I always came home to visit. And honestly, like my mother and my brother in their later years were just major, major struggles. But I also could say that I am so lucky because my mother was incredible and loving and giving when I was young. And her mental illness really came, at the end of my middle school years and high school. And then I kind of became independent and moved on.
But you were able to understand that there's who your mother is and there's the way that the mental illness is affecting her. And when you look back at the way that you dealt with things, the way you cope with things, which by the way, I share with you similarly the feeling of pride and compassion. I think I know you're resilient, but I found myself to be incredibly hard on myself through my life, and then going back through my life of feeling proud of myself and sending love and compassion to that version of me that I didn't think deserved any. When you look back at how you dealt with things and all these experiences, did that further reinforce the way that you deal with things, or did it inform things later, like even recently, of how you approach things because of that perspective that you have?
I either always look for the cherry on the sundae, or I kind of shift my focus to the positive and don't dwell on the negative. So, when my mother had her struggles, I had my Aunt Alice. I also had my mother-in-law. So I've had other people that have kind of, filled my bucket that felt empty from different things. And, after, I have 3 kids, and my mother was really not up to coming to take care of me and my kids. Like, she just wasn't, the mother that I had when I was young. And I don't hold it against her. And I don't hold, my dad falling in love with someone against him. He couldn't help it. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm very happy I am 38 years married. I would not want to, I'm lucky. I still love my husband. I mean, that's really what it is. It's luck. It's luck.
It's interesting when you're talking about that, but then when we were reflecting back on your childhood and you were talking about sitting there as a kid and looking up at your mom, you like lit up, so that regardless, I think of sometimes our parents fail us, but they also do something that sparks us as well. And I don't know. It was just a comment because it was like a beautiful, I could see like your little person looking up at this glorious being with her,
I was obsessed.
Her shoes and her lashes and her,
Right. Yeah. And honestly, the good news is I got to reinvent what a family, what I kind of wish I had with my children. So I got to kind of, write my own story. And look, I'm really lucky that I have 3 sons and not any daughters. Cause, it was, and you'll, if you read in my book, it was tough, having a Jewish mom that was always telling me I wasn't thin enough, or, I should go on this diet, or I should, maybe I should get this outfit or do this. She always wanted me to be better. She did it with love. Like Bobbi, you're really pretty, but you'd be gorgeous if you had your nose fixed. Like, what kind of mother says that to their daughter?
A lot of
I
Jewish
never said,
mothers.
Mom, I don't like. I guess, but I never said I didn't like my nose, and I never had a nose job.
Right. My mom's not even Jewish, and she would say, "You could lose 5 pounds." And I was a tiny person, but it's those things that are like, and then we go into these jobs where we're seeing that all over the place, and you in fashion and makeup, like this perfection thing, and how beautiful it is that you did something to bring out the natural beauty in women. So how did that really happen? But for you,
I think honestly, I think from all my mom telling me, these things in my experience, my first experience, I went to see a little makeup store, hopefully to get a job there. And she just did my makeup and said, "Your skin is too yellow. Let me give you this to fix it. Your lips are too small. Let me line over your lips. Let me shade your nose to make it look smaller." And I remember looking in the mirror afterwards saying, "Oh my God, I look awful." And I went home and I washed my face. And I remember looking in the mirror saying, "I look so much better." And and I don't want to look like that. And so I think I've always looked for the more positive, so I'd work with women that have lines in their face, and they'd be like, "Oh, look at me." And I'm like, "No, you have the most beautiful eyes. Let's play up your eyes." And then it became part of who I was. And by the way, I was not a good makeup artist when I started. I just figured out how to do makeup to make people look better. And it was kind of like all of my makeup hacks that made me a good artist. I was not a painter. Like, the artists that came in and like redid faces, I didn't like the way they looked anyways.
Oh, am I feeling all the signs of aging? Poor sleep, lack of energy, stiffer joints, abnormal blood work. Listen, these are real things to pay attention to. but there are real possibilities for healthy aging. And some of us just don't have the time, money, and energy to spend on all of these wellness hacks and biohacking and beauty products that will make us feel younger and healthier. But guess what? I have a simple solution for you right now, because we're talking about reversing aging at the cellular level, which results in improved long-term health and wellness. I'm so excited to share with you guys C15 from Fatty 15. It is the first emerging essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years. It is an incredible scientific breakthrough to support our long-term health and wellness, and you guessed it, healthy aging. Based on over 100 studies, we know now that C15 strengthens our cells and is a key healthy aging nutrient, which helps to slow biological aging at a cellular level. This helps fix something called cellular fragility syndrome, which is really why we age. So get with it, guys. Fatty 15 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels to help support your long-term health and wellness, especially as you age. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/messy and using code MESSY at checkout. I can envision your counter at Bloomingdale's at the Roosevelt Field Mall in Long Island, where I went with my mom, where it was just, all the beautiful natural shades and all about just enhancing natural beauty. Even, all your models, it almost looked like they had nothing on. It was just the celebration of what, like you said, what made them beautiful, which was why it was the only makeup that my mom let me buy originally. Was she's like, no, we're getting a natural palette. You can get a little bronzer, because I'm not letting you throw, blue eyeliner on and, crazy colored lipstick. And that's what's made you, I think, timeless and classic, is because women can grow with you. Women can mature with you. And the way that you look at women is what allows them and informs them of how to look at themselves. So I think also just the time that you were able to come up in such a time when it was about like flashy colors and a lot of makeup, it says so much about you. And authenticity, I think, is always like the thing that pierces through, that is really hard to stay true to as long as you've been in business. And we look forward to talking to you more about that, because I know that you've had to really stand up for yourself and what you believe many times in situations where I don't think many would. And imagine that being very difficult.
Right. Well, that's very true. And I would also, besides authenticity, which is just about being yourself, the most important thing is being comfortable. Like, people always say, you seem so confident. I'm like, I'm not confident. I'm just really comfortable with who I am. Like, I don't feel like I have to prove that I'm different than I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. And, it's taken me many years. Like, it didn't just happen in my 20s and 30s. And, and probably not even my 40s. I think my 50s and 60s. I mean, it's very strange. I'm 2 years away from 70. Like, that is just friggin'
you're not
insane. I am.
Are you wearing Jones?
And I have
Are you wearing Jones Road Beauty on your beautiful
she has
face?
nothing to look at her.
I have zero makeup on. And yes, I'm sitting in front of a window with good light, but I don't shoot anything in my face. Like, I have lines in my face. And, the worst part is, like, I can't fucking stand my neck anymore.
Yeah, that's just the most frustrating
what are we to do about that? Because you can do all these other things, but they're like, sorry about your neck.
Yeah.
It's just going to stay that way.
I don't, honestly, I'm not done researching, because I'm not having surgery. I am not shooting Botox around my jawline, not doing that.
Yeah.
There is like soft wave laser. I don't, I get it done through Softwave, and it's free. It seems tighter. I don't know. It hurts a lot, but
it hurts
you numb
bad.
yourself. So it's.
I need to look
if you have
up,
a really good,
please.
if you have a good numbing doctor, it doesn't hurt that bad.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Yeah. No, and who designed HDTV?
Agree.
Fuckers
also,
did that.
HDTV.
Remember, like,
it's the worst.
Okay, I understand you want to see like the beautiful caresses of a rose, But when a woman's like 40, we don't want to see the beautiful caresses of her pores. Like, can we not?
But also, that's not how the human eye sees things.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I miss when things were on film, because that's how, as we through our eyes, that's how we see the world. Like the HD, like that's. I mean, I need glasses now, but even when I didn't, that's not how I saw the world. It almost feels unnatural, which is why I think we're scrambling to keep up with an unattainable and not natural aesthetic. And I'm so thrilled to hear that you have followed that path. But going back a little bit, how old were you when Bobbi Brown Cosmetics first launched?
I was 32 years old, I believe. Maybe 32. I had one kid, but before, when I was pregnant, I met a chemist at a cosmetics store. And that's when I told him I really hated all the makeup on the market. And I particularly hate lipstick. It's stinky. It's this and that. And he said, oh, I could make you what you want. What do you want? And I told him what I wanted. And he made it for me. And we started a little mini company together. Before, I was in a department store and I would just mail it out of my house to people that wanted to buy it. We'd split 50-50 the proceeds. And it started my path.
It's so incredible that you're Bobbi Brown. I keep like kind of freaking out a little bit. Sorry, because you've been a part of my bathroom for most of my life. That like,
well,
I
guys,
only
it's
bought
also equally weird. Yeah. Yeah.
So weird.
Sorry. It's also equally weird that I'm talking to you guys that, I mean, I've seen every fucking thing you've done, on your shows. So I've been a big fan of both you guys forever.
Well,
so it's funny. I mean, it's like, come on, I'm in Montclair, New Jersey now, home of the Sopranos.
That's right.
Right. I mean,
that's right. Jersey pride forever.
Wait, also, do you remember like being on set, going into the makeup trailer, James, and like, everything's laid out? It's like 90% Bobbi Brown.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know we want to talk about Jones Road, but I'm just saying, like, I don't work
we're
anymore,
talking about her.
But it was like everybody. That's what they used. It was like it's the product of the people who are doing this for a living, and looks better on HD, by the way,
right?
Because it smooths over and doesn't go. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I just get very excited about this.
Yeah.
When you initially started your brand, you had spoken about your parents giving you advice, very specific advice. Could you share what that advice was?
Well, there was a lot of advice, but my father is the one, when I told him I was starting a brand, he said, what do you think you're going to be, the next Estee Lauder? And I looked at him, I'm like, maybe.
Bing,
and,
bang, boom,
that's
Dad.
who bought my company. Right. Okay. Maybe, Dad. So, look, I studied makeup in college, like at Emerson College. Like, I studied makeup. They didn't have a course, but they had a way that you could design your own major. So I'm like, oh, I could do that. And that's how I approach everything in my life. I could do that. Not everything works, but it's easy.
Do you like feel like your mind is blown sometimes about, did you ever think that this brand would become what it became? Because really there is not a lot of, it's like these brands from France that, we've heard about since 1952. And then here comes you and you change the game. But did you ever think that like that would be your scenario?
No. And I never thought about it because I was always so busy either creating things or fixing things, it was, and popping out babies and and going to back to school night and being a wife and a mother and a sister. And then there's a bar mitzvah and there's another bar mitzvah that I've been very busy and I don't think about it. Right. I just don't think about it. And then, one day I got fired. And it was like, oh, now what?
What was that? Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't really, like, I've read all your stuff here. Are we doing shrug emoji? Because we have to.
All right.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
No, I mean, look, I don't get it either. And, things were changing both in the industry and where I was working. And honestly, I could go back now and tell you exactly what happened, because most of my quote unquote posse, they don't work there anymore either. And so, we didn't talk for a while, but everyone is kind of back together, friends again. And you hear all these different sides of what was happening. I mean, things exploded and blew up basically. And, I didn't want to make contour palettes. I didn't want to do all the things that were trending. And I didn't have the right leadership, the right team. And, I wanted to change things. My last couple years I was there, I wanted to make Bobbi Brown a clean brand. I wanted to show no makeup. So it didn't work. And there was butting heads. I got fired. I was asked to stay as the face of the brand, but not talk. And I was like, yeah, no, bye. Yeah, no, bye. So, and I had 4.5 years left on a 25-year non-compete. So I had to do a lot of stuff for 4.5 years to occupy myself and do things. And then I launched Jones Road, relaunched Jones Road, meaning my husband and I and my small team. The day my 25-year non-compete was up, I was 62 years old. And it's been 5 years, and it's been quite an interesting ride.
Support for Messy comes from Warby Parker. Well, it's official. I have to wear glasses now. I have to wear them to read, to see far away, to drive. And now that, I'm a glasses person, I'm noticing it's the first thing people see when they look at you. They're on your face every single day. So the decision of what glasses you wear actually matters. And I want my glasses not to be functional. I want them to be a fashion choice I make every single day. And that is why I'm obsessed with Warby Parker. First of all, nothing comes close on quality, price, selection, and customer service. And when something's on your face every single day, the details actually matter. And what's great about Warby Parker is you can do a virtual try-on. It's a total game changer. You literally try on glasses from your phone before you buy. And it's crazy how well it actually works. Because I've tried other virtual try-ons. They're pretty janky. But with Warby Parker, you can actually tell how the frames are going to look and fit. Okay, and they don't just offer incredible prescription glasses. They have everything you need for happier eyes. That includes contacts, online eye exams, and sunglasses. It's all in one place, which makes everything so much easier. And they also have over 300 retail stores across the U.S. Our listeners are going to get 15% off plus free shipping when they buy 2 or more pairs of prescription glasses at warbyparker.com/messy. Use our link, and please do, because it helps support the show. Warby Parker.
Messy is sponsored by AG1. You know what, guys? There is no right time for better health. There's just now. And AG1 is the easiest and most impactful habit you can implement this year. So check it out. Sustainable health is about consistency, right? It's not perfection. Simplify your nutrition with AG1. It's a multivitamin, pre- and probiotics, superfoods, and antioxidants in one scoop. Okay, all you have to do, 8 ounces of water, check. 1 scoop, check. Mix it up. Drink it first thing before coffee, before checking your phone. It will become a habit that anchors everything else. And the new Next Gen formula, they've added more vitamins and minerals than ever, clinically proven to fill common nutrient gaps. I use it every single day. They've got new flavors too, by the way. So you have the original, which I delight in, but now there's citrus, berry, and tropical. My favorite right now is berry. I haven't tried the other 2, and I'm going to after I stop recording this. AG1 has over 50,000 verified 5-star reviews and comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Go to drinkag1.com/messy to get their best offer. Get a free AG1 flavor sampler and AGZ sampler to try all the flavors, plus free vitamin D3 and K2, and that's AG1 welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription order. That's drinkag1.com/messy, drinkag1.com/messy. Let them know we sent ya.
I imagine giving up your brand must have felt like such a tremendous loss in all of the ways, right? A loss of the brand itself, a loss of your identity that you had had for, 20 something more years. We talk a lot about that on here, feeling a loss of identity. For us, a lot of it came with our MS diagnosis, right? Like who I was before and who I am now, and, the adjustments that we have to make and the different ways we have to approach life. So what helped you in that process and in that time of loss? Because a lot of people that listen to this podcast,
Sure.
face that and deal with that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, it's part of life, and it's easier to talk about it now. I couldn't have talked about it, back then. Look, the first 2 days, the only thing that got me through is tequila. I mean, my friends came over, we drank tequila.
Only two?
But the third day,
Come on, Bobbi.
only two.
Only 2 days?
By the third
Just
day, I started making lunch and breakfast plans with business friends, and I just started going out and looked for projects, looked for things to do. But I was still, I was angry. I was sad. I was frustrated. I was embarrassed. I had all the emotions. And there was a small sliver of excitement, teeny sliver, but that kept changing, right? And so I did a lot of things. I walked a lot because that kind of helped clear my mind. I picked up the phone. I had people on speed dial, like, some very important people in my life that were always checking in on me. And I had them, my husband. And then I went to my chiropractor where I used to go once a week. I started going 3 times a week because he's an energy chiropractor. So he helped me get negative energy out of my body. And then a friend my yoga teacher showed up at my house once, and he said, I am a life coach and I want to give you a session. I'm like, what the hell is a life coach? And he told me, and I started working with him, and I just started coming out of my fog, and he would give me actionable things to do to start some new things. And all of a sudden, I had a hotel to work on. I had a photo and TV studio. I had all these things. And then I built a little team because I knew I needed a team. And then I started doing makeup, and honestly, I couldn't get hired. I went out one day to get an agent, and these kids that were agents looked at me like, huh? What would we do with you? So then I said, well, that's not going to work. I did that one day. And then I just started doing shoots in my photo studio. And I just ideated this new brand, and I just said, fine, see what happens.
You just kept moving, but you allowed yourself to have the moments of grief and all the things that come with it. And would it ever come up even in all of your doing, right? And in all of your action and moving forward, did you have moments within that sort of transition and reset of like a surprising day of sadness or grief? Or do you think you were able to kind of process it and leave it behind?
No, it was there for a really long time. I think once I launched Jones Road, which was 4.5 years after I left the brand, then things really, nothing like a new boyfriend to get you over divorce,
New relationship energy, yeah.
Right, something, so yeah. So yeah, no, the new thing was so exciting and people were loving it, and all of a sudden, that was the fun thing in the room. And then it just, and I stopped looking at what the brand had become because I wasn't there, and it's not what I would have done. And I realized it's got my name, but that's all it's got.
Is it still out there?
Yeah.
With your name.
It's still sure.
And
sure.
They own my name. They own your name. Forever?
What? Yeah. Forever.
They own your name?
Trust me. Sure.
Do you get
no, I get no. Look, it's the law's the law. So when we sold the company, I mean, think about it. Calvin Klein, Donna Karan, Valentino, like,
Sure.
yeah, it's a brand. We made a brand. It's in my name. They own the name, of course, for all beauty. And, and for 25 years, like, don't cry for me, Argentina. I had a buyout of something. So even the 4.5 years after I left, I still got, international royalties, so,
Sure.
and then that was over.
I know that you're okay.
Yeah.
You are okay,
Right.
lady.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I would have bought an island and just left the building.
Yeah.
Sorry. But
yeah, no,
you're a go-getter.
You know what? I have this insatiable curiosity. I'm just really curious.
That's everything.
And I'm like, I'm not afraid. Not only am I not afraid, I love doing things I have no idea what to do. Like that just really excites me.
Well, yeah, I went to I lived at an ashram in India a couple of years ago for a little while, and when I left, I sat with my guru and I said to him, if there's one thing that you can give me before I leave you to take with me and remember, what would it be? And he said, just stay curious. So I feel you on that, and curiosity in all the ways, even of just when something happens to you, I wonder why, like trusting, having it's like all encompassing, right? Of faith, trust, like it's just allowing, like acceptance of like all of the things that come at you, and we're constantly being redirected, and we don't know why or how or what. Like you said, you don't even know what's ahead. Like that excitement, that curiosity, there's a reason why you look the way you do right now and have been and still finding success in new ways. I love that. I'm so inspired by you because it's the one thing that I like never want to lose is that curiosity of life, because sometimes the hardships, we can emerge even more curious because, and there's so much beauty in that.
Yes. And by the way, I don't even know what it must be like to get these diagnoses of your health. And what do you do with that? Like, that's a whole, and I'll read both of your books because everyone deals with things differently. But it's the same thing I had written on my wall. So what? Now what? Okay. So what? Now what? All right. What are you going to do with this information? You can't change it. And it's so fucking frustrating, I'm sure, but it's like, all right, what do I do with this?
Yeah. We talk a lot about Jamie and I, I'm a baby. I'm a baby MSer, right? So we're talking 5 years, whatever it is now.
Right.
I'm still a baby. I'm still pissed off. I'm walking in my diapers. Do you know what I mean? I'm like banging my rattles everywhere, screaming at the fucking rooftops going, I want milk, whatever it is. And my beautiful friend reminds me that there's something over that hurdle, like in life, just that it's coming. Like when you guys are talking about this beautiful curiosity and ashrams, and I don't know if you were doing DNFT, which I love that chiropractic. It's all energy, but I don't know if it's the same thing. Anywho, that I feel like I want to feel like that, I want to, but I'm not there yet. And but I'm just saying, like,
because there's an open, but then Christina, there's an openness, like meaning like maybe you're not open to it, right? Maybe you need to start being a little more open to what weird thing, like, you go to the 7-Eleven or somewhere and you just don't know. The Uber drivers, you just don't know. Like I just think there's so much possibility, or a weird email that comes in and someone asks you to do something because they heard you do this. Like I just think I always believe that is around the horizon for everyone if you're open to it.
Well, that's kind of what we're talking about is you kind of lost kind of this thing. And it's like for us, we lost an identity as well, with our diagnoses. We all at some point in life take a big loss, and you get stripped of like what we've known to be comfortable. And that's, I think, what you've done is
sucks.
It sucks, but
it's unavoidable. It's life. I mean, I think that
it is.
One of the things that I've found to be grateful for from this particular experience of my own is just like mine's on the outside, right? I tried to hide mine for a very, very long time. And a whole other layer of suffering on top of whatever else I was already dealing with. And now that it's out there, it's almost like people see me and see like, oh, she has a struggle, and they're willing to open and be vulnerable. And I'm like, what a gift. What a gift to be able to connect, because even though I think we all have like a disability, right? We all have something that makes life a little harder, makes us have to fight a little bit harder. And just knowing that, it just evens the playing field. It helps you just understand like, this is life, and I'm going to do something with what I'm given. We're all given these things, I think, for our own evolution, our growth. I don't think I would have the perspective that I have now if I did not have this particular experience. And so, like you said, so what, now what? Like, I want to do something good with it. I don't want it to be in vain. I want to be able to, I want to also believe that I am still worthy of my dreams and what I wanted to do despite. Same with you. Like, no, I'm still going to do a makeup brand because this is what I do. And one of the things I do best. You just had to take the different avenues and roads, the Jones Road, to do it.
I'm interrupting you because we all need to watch Jamie on Grey's Anatomy. Speaking of that, it one of them did.
It aired. I think you can see it on Hulu. But I got to play a doctor with MS.
It's so good.
Wow,
Bobbi. She's so good. And you know what?
I'm so happy.
Who gives a fuck about her MS? It wasn't about MS. Right. It was a beautiful performance by an incredible actress who's my friend, and I love her. And everyone needs to go and get your Apple TV out.
That's so nice.
And you know, it just made me think of my friend. I have a very dear friend who was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and it was a death sentence. I have never seen anyone more vibrant. He literally turned his entire life around, from exercise and food and medicine and doctors. And now he's opening, businesses, and it's incredible. He is so, and as his doctor said, it's not going to kill you. Like, this disease is not going to kill you. You just have to learn how to deal with it. So, he's doing all the alternative things. He's a much better, physically better person with this diagnosis. It's, I know he's one in a million, but, I just think I believe there's hope for everybody and everything. That's just the way I choose to live my life.
Absolutely. So then let's talk a little bit more about Jones Road Beauty, because this is the beauty brand that you always envisioned, right? That you wanted to evolve into be. So what are all the things about Jones Road Beauty?
You know why I love it, and
am I getting a box to my front stoop? Sorry, just kidding.
Hell yes.
Can we get some makeup, please?
Both get it.
Thank
you. All right, go ahead.
Yes, and so Jones Road is, first of all, it's a clean brand. There's no chemicals. There's no anything, and it's just this brand that makes you look like a better version of yourself instantly. And I don't care. Like, it starts with, we have this thing called Miracle Balm, where you dip your fingers in, you put it on your face, and you're like, oh my God, look at the difference.
Yes.
And a lot of the products that we make, I mean, I'm a formulator, I'm a makeup artist. So I don't like the way makeup looks on a skin that it's dry. When you get your makeup done for some shoot or something, and then you like take it off, you're like, wow, I look better. You might, I want skin to be fresh like that. So there's a fresh look on every Jones Road, model for sure. And even in our shoots, like, I style the shoot, I choose the models, I do the makeup, I edit, I have my team around me, we have a wardrobe closet. And it's every 2 months. It's fun. It's joyous. It's fun. I just left a meeting that was very aggravating about what we're doing next holiday. So I had to leave that negativity, as I crossed the street, because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. But anyways, it's not all magic, but I do appreciate the magic. Yeah.
And where can people purchase Jones Road Beauty?
Well, you can get Jones Road Beauty online at jonesroadbeauty.com. We now have 12 stores. There's one in Austin.
Yes.
Right? There's one in Austin on South Congress. We are about to open 4 to 5 LA, California stores.
Yes,
Very
for me.
excited about that. Yep. We're in New York, New Jersey, Brooklyn, Chicago, Palm Beach, Dallas, Nashville just opened, and I probably missed a few cities, but yeah, and it's really fun. It's growing, and you walk in there, and the artists that work there are, a lot of them come from the old brand, and they're just women of all different ages, and they are like, it's a really happy place, and they will make you feel like $100.
Support for Messy comes from Lola Blankets. Don't get me started on Lola Blankets. I received a Lola blanket from Lola Blankets, actually, when we started partnering with them. And I have never taken this off of my body. I actually sleep under just my Lola blanket. I don't even use my duvet cover. I don't use anything else. I lay in bed with this beautiful, beautiful blanket. It is the world's #1 blanket. It's crafted with ultra soft luxury faux fur and a signature 4-way stretch. It's kind of hard to explain that, but you got to get one to understand that there's a 4-way stretch. It really is the kind of quality that instantly feels gift worthy. It's machine washable, double hemmed, and built to last for years, making it a truly meaningful long-term gift for someone special. It stays flawless, guys. No shedding, no pilling, no delicate care worries. We're coming up on Valentine's Day. Don't you want to wrap your loved ones in something that kind of reminds them of how much you love them? Because when I'm in my Lola blanket, I feel loved. There's like a gajillion different prints and colors and sizes. There's one for babies. I just got one from my nephew. Lola has over 20,000 5-star reviews. 5-star. There's a reason it's called the world's #1 blanket. So check it out. For a limited time, our listeners can get 40% off select Lola Blankets products with code MESSY at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use the code MESSY. After your purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Guess where you heard about them? Please support our show and let them know we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola Blankets. I was going to say about, because I am in my mid-50s now, and I don't do any plastic surgery as well. And I had, Molly Stern, don't you? The makeup artist, Molly.
Not personally. Okay. I know who she is.
Yeah, okay. So she was here the other day, and of course I was like, change my face. Like, you know what I mean? Just change my face. But that doesn't always work for older folk. Yeah. I mean, I'm asking you actually
but
advice.
She's your age too, right?
Molly and I have known each other for like 30 something years. Yeah.
Right.
And but
yeah.
I wish that I could find something that I could, you know what I mean? Like, tell me what should I be doing?
I will. I'm going to have my head artist and we're going to Google your pictures. We're
I'm so excited.
Get all the right colors. We'll send it to you. If you don't know what to do with everything, I'm happy to hop on a Zoom and say, okay, guys, take out this, put it on now. All right, do that. It's so easy. I can't tell you.
Don't Google any pictures that are on there right now, because all that's there is me from when I got diagnosed, and I was 200 pounds. Please don't look at those. We've changed.
I know. I just want to look at your face. Then send. No, I know, but fine. Or then send me a picture of you with no makeup.
Okay,
on.
Thank you.
And no glasses. It won't be published, but then I'll know what color concealer. Like, we make these pencils that you just go under your eyes with, pat them in, and you're like, okay, I don't look tired. It's
oh my God, I want that now.
It's a gift. I feel better when I put makeup on that makes me look not tired. That's, I mean, my hashtag, which if you search my hashtag on Instagram, I'm the only one that puts it up. The hashtag was how not to look like shit. That's why I wear makeup.
Sold.
So
same. That's all I want. Yeah. Just don't make me look like, how do I not look like shit?
Right. I love that so much.
It's so easy. But it's so easy. And for me, by the way, Yeah. And for me, I had my hair blown out because I have an event tonight. I have no makeup on. I'm wearing, a navy sweater and jeans. I should get a blowout 4 times a week because it makes me feel like a new person.
I'm with you. Give me a good blowout.
So,
I am feeling
and a manicure.
myself. And a manicure. Do you do the Russian manicures?
Oh, no, but I have a Russian manicurist. But no, I do a regular manicure.
Well, this baby lasts 5 weeks, which is why I could do it.
Wow. Oh, I can't do that because then I'll start picking. I know me. But Christina, do you get manicures and blowouts?
I am allergic to nail polish. So I actually can't.
But can't you get a manicure without polish?
I just do it myself.
You can get buffed.
I buff. Okay. I just sit here and buff. Right. I have a really good buffer.
Then what?
Like the one that with the square.
Then what? So what are you doing to make yourself feel better?
Sleeping, Bobby. Okay. I like to sleep. I also I kind of haven't been feeling so good, but we don't have to get into that, because I got MS and I'm symptomatic. But
think about even if you're home in bed, I don't care. Think about what are those 1 or 2 little things you could do to just elevate your mood. I've worked with a lot of women who have a lot of medical issues.
I got this thing. It's not a vibrator.
Yes, that's great. The cold and hot.
I love it.
And
I just lay here and I do that. I'll put some, under eye guys, even though I never see a difference, regardless of how much money I spend on them. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I love this little guy. And my hair.
All right. Well, the Miracle Balm.
My hair is like pubic
Miracle
hair.
Balm.
So it's just gonna, it's terrible. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway.
So the Miracle Balm, the Miracle Balm will be the start.
I want that.
Yeah, that'll be the start. Yeah.
I love this.
You'll see and you'll be like, all right.
Well, I've got all this crap coming up, Bobbi Brown, that I got, I've got this book coming out. So Mama's got to leave the house.
Yeah. So, so now's your time.
4 years. So I got to.
Wow. You haven't left the house in 4 years. All right. A lot of things you could do from where you are, and I'm sure you have a team that's going to help you leave the house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So I will make sure you. Right, but I will. Well, you don't have a choice. You wrote a book.
I know.
That's right.
Why did I do that?
Trust it.
Yeah.
I'm trusting it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. So, anyways, baby steps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Babies. That's all I believe in is baby steps.
All right, let's get me hooked up, Bobbi Brown.
You got this.
Yes.
I'm getting you hooked up, both you
I'm going to go through my makeup drawer and we're going to take the crust.
Just go like this.
Yeah.
Clear room.
It's
all
real
good stuff.
It's real sad. It's real sad. There's like Mac stuff in there. It's just funny.
It's time.
It's all right. One thing at a time.
That's right. All right, Bobbi. Well, one of our favorite things that we do at the end of each episode is, she doesn't like when I say this, but she's incredible. We're going to ask you your 5 favorite movies. Don't think too hard about it. Just think of the first 5 that come to mind of ones that you could watch a million times, that you have watched a million times, or that make you feel things, or just that you always go back to.
And don't explain them.
And don't explain them. Just say the titles. And Christina's going to take a moment to tell you all about yourself because of the movies that you love.
All right. Saturday Night Fever. My favorite movie. And I'm so bad at remembering when you ask me what book I've read. I'm like, I'm so bad at this. Saturday Night Fever, Love Story, Godfather. Oh my God. Not Borat, but one of those kind of stupid movies because I have 3 boys and I love all those really.
So like,
all right, so then
like
I'm just
Ali G
I'm gonna say, just silly,
like
fucking
Christopher
stupid
Guest kind of stuff. Like Christopher Guest,
even less. No, even less fabulous. Like where do my boys like? I love Kill Bill.
I'm just gonna put Borat because that's what you said.
Just all right, so
I'm putting Borat because that's what you said, and that's organically.
And then she said Kill Bill.
Okay,
Kill Bill. Okay, you guys talk for a minute.
Okay, so we'll talk while she evaluates. You know what, Bobbi? I'm so curious. What's your aesthetic at home? Like, what's your interiors like?
I have a few different homes, so they're very different, but pretty much the same. Yeah. I mean, my husband is a developer and he loves homes. I like hotel rooms, but I don't always win in that department. So, my
Go for
aesthetic is
hotel
really
room. Sorry.
simple.
Go there.
Yeah. Really simple, clean, but warm. Like, I'm much more into grays than taupes. I
Okay.
like, we have a hotel in Montclair. It's definitely, it doesn't look like my home at all. It looks like right out of the UK, very Soho House UK.
Cool.
But my homes are kind of like Swedish, Danish, but still warm and inviting. A lot of like calm, a lot of blonde wood. We have dogs, so it's, there's dog beds everywhere. We have grandchildren, so I finally have a kitchen, a little wooden kitchen to play with because I have a granddaughter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
My dad always says his favorite phase of life has been being a grandparent.
Oh, for sure. Do you have kids?
That? I have 2 little boys.
Yeah, I have. Yes, my favorite phase of life is being a grandma for sure. But I loved being a mother. I just loved being a mother to these boys. I did. Like my work doesn't really define me. What really defines me is are all the moments with my kids.
Yes, I understand.
And
she's ready. Madam Christina's ready.
I don't know. But this is what came really, really quickly to me. You felt like your home life was a little bit dangerous, but you never got to be dangerous because you had to keep your shit together. And I'm not talking about everything that we talked about with your mom. I'm literally getting this from the stories that you're relating to, that you just wish you could just go out and be fucking a little bit dangerous. Whatever that meant in life. Throw the fucking shoes off, walk around barefoot, be a little dangerous, and fuck shit up. But there's this need to kind of keep it together because you had to. Shrug emoji.
Okay.
That's kind of what I got.
Okay. I'll take that. I had definitely some periods of what the fuck, do stupid things, when I was younger, but luckily I didn't get killed. So,
well, then I was completely off. That's the first time I'm completely off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right. Well, then you enjoyed being dangerous. That's what I
did.
Think. I think you kind of sexualize being like, there's a sexy feeling about being dangerous. So, these are all very sexy danger jams here, where there's like you know what I mean?
Well, there's also dangerous sometimes is just being yourself and saying no and standing up for yourself, especially, in the industry that you've been in for so long. So you're dangerous in all the good ways.
Yeah, but it's also like just saying, why not, right? Like Flo Rida called my name and said, hop on stage with me. I said, why not? And I did. I like those kind of like, what the fuck? Okay, why not?
I wasn't meaning, but that you were like straight-laced. I'm saying like,
okay,
you had to sometimes pull shit together for yourself, by yourself.
Right.
But these are all sexy movies.
That is true.
About danger and being a little naughty. That's all.
I think we should take many notes from Bobbi from this episode. One of them especially just being like, why not? So whoever's listening, why not? And so what? Move on. Let's keep going. You've got whatever you've got. It doesn't define you. Your story isn't over yet. Keep redefining yourself and staying true to yourself. Bobbi, I've loved you from afar, and I love you even more after getting to meet you and talk to you. It's just been such a cool, wonderful interview.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I love talking to you guys too.
Yeah. And so we just pull a card at the end of each episode and I read it. So if you don't mind, it'll be short and sweet, but we never know what it's going to say or what it's going to bring. So usually they pertain to the interview. We'll see. Never lose an opportunity of seeing anything that is beautiful. For beauty is God's handwriting, a wayside sacrament. Welcome it in every fair face, in every fair sky, in every flower, and thank God for it, a cup of blessing.
Holy shit, Jamie. Did you pre-pull that?
I did not pre-pull it.
Oh my God.
The front of the stack. Look at that. Well, thank you so much, Bobbi. What a pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Can't wait to read your books, guys.
Thank you. Everyone go buy Jones Road Beauty. It's all we're going to be wearing now. And so it is.
And so it is, guys. This show is executive produced by Christina Applegate, Jamie-Lynn Sigler, and Allison Bresnick. Our audio engineer is Josh Windisch.
And if you want to show us some love, don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review. Hi, it's Jamie. Thanks for listening. I just want to let you know I am a paid spokesperson for Novartis, but this podcast is independent from my collaboration with Novartis.